Hey, what's up, YouTube viewers and betanews.com readers? Brian Fajoli is here with an unboxing. It's kind of a weird little unboxing. So, tomorrow I am scheduled to get my Raspberry Pi 2, which is something I'm very excited about. So, in anticipation of getting that Raspberry Pi 2, I ordered a case for it. I didn't want to spend a lot of money. I just wanted something fairly, inexpensive that I can kind of stick it in. So I jumped on Amazon and I found this case for about $8. So let's go ahead and see what it is called. Let's see here. It is the Eleduino Raspberry Pi B Plus Enclosure box, pure white. So it says B Plus, which is compatible with the Raspberry Pi 2. It's the same design of the board and the layout. So I went ahead and I bought this. I figured for like $8, it was worth the risk just to give it a try. I don't think there were any other reviews on Amazon, maybe like one or two. So this particular one was attractive to me. I liked the color, I liked the layout, and I just liked the case. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox this now. So it's just a plain white box. I'm going to open one side. Oh yeah, and there was a cool aspect about this too, which I like. So let's see. So the first thing I'm pulling out here is... This is what I liked. If you can see there, it's a bag of screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, which go in to, attach the two pieces together. But also... you can see there's heat sinks. So this came with heat sinks as an added option. So for like $8, I said, you know what? I don't really think the Raspberry Pi 2 needs the heat sinks. I don't plan on like overclocking it. But if I do, I'll probably throw these on there because why not? It came with it at the same price. Adjust the camera down a little bit. So let's see. Let's actually pull out the rest. And the rest of the box is empty. So it's a very plain white box. So now we have the heat sinks and the screws, and now we have the actual case. So I'm going to take this out of the paper, or the plastic, I should say. A very, basic plastic bag. On top, it says Eleduino, and it has the URL www.eleduino.com. Let's see. And it's very basic, as I expected. For $8, I like this has all the cutouts. It looked nice. This particular case had something some others didn't. And right here, I believe the LED should shine through there. Some other cases didn't have that option. Let's see what else we have here. Yes, right in the top, you can access the micro SD card right there. You'd be surprised, but a lot of cases don't have a cutout for the micro SD, so you have to take the case off. I've heard with a lot of people saying that it can be difficult, even with the cases that have the cutout, to get the card in and out. I don't plan on taking it in and out too often, but I like that the cutout is there in case I want to. And otherwise, it's just very, very basic. You have, USB, the Ethernet. This side's, just plain. What else was cool about this? I'm trying to think here. So I believe that... I don't remember the exact way that it goes. Again, I don't have my Pi yet. I believe this cutout here, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, is for the ribbon. I believe it's like a GPIO ribbon. I'm not going to be using that. I'm not doing any programming on my Raspberry Pi 2. The reason I ordered one, I have the first Raspberry Pi, the B edition, the first gen, and I really liked it for taking around with Linux and using it as a media center with XBMC. But with the Raspberry Pi 2, the reason I really bought it is, of course, I'm a big Linux fan, and I like to play around with Linux, but also I'm intrigued by the Windows 10 option that will be coming for the Raspberry Pi 2. I think it's called Windows 10 for IoT, Internet of Things. So I'm a little skeptical about how it's going to be. Is it going to be a full-fledged Windows OS where you can run ARM apps from the store, or is it going to be a very limited version of Windows that just allows you to, control things, blah, blah, blah. Either way, I'm a big Windows fan and a big Linux fan. So the Raspberry Pi 2 will, either way, it'll either be a Windows 10 tinkering device or it'll be a Linux tinkering device. This is, I think, I apologize if I'm misquoting it. I think it's like 6 times more powerful than the original Raspberry Pi. It has a 900 megahertz processor. I can probably guess that there might be some kind of overclocking to like 1 gigahertz. It has 1 gig of RAM on board. So, I mean, it should be a really great Linux machine. The only downside is there's not a lot of ARM. Well, I mean, I don't want to say there's not a lot of, but there are some ARM packages that aren't available. So some programs that you might be looking for, maybe x86 only, you might not have an option for ARM. That's slowly changing, but in the past I had an ARM-based Chromebook that I put Ubuntu on, and there just was a lot of missing ARM packages. It was not the best experience, but I think this machine is a lot faster, the Raspberry Pi 2. But I digress. I'm getting away from my original point of just kind of doing this unboxing. So again, this is the Eleduino, and the model number on here is X000OB436N, as in Nancy. Eleduino Raspberry Pi B+, Enclosure box, pure white, and it is new and not used, I guess. So there you have it. My Raspberry Pi 2 will be here tomorrow, and I will do an unboxing